HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.
Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. $635.5 million fire service headquarters commissioned. Joint services minimum wage to increase to $130,000, says President Ali. PM Phillips, Patterson differ on completion timeline for gas to energy project. And PPPC, almost 5 years in office and no progress on the revision Amerindian Act of 2006. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Wednesday, January 8, 2025 edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what you need to know this evening. The Guyana Fire Service and Emergency Headquarters, valued at $635.5 million, was officially commissioned on Wednesday at Homestretch Avenue, alongside the commissioning of a fleet of vehicles and other firefighting appliances were also handed over to enhance the country's firefighting capabilities. Tiana Cole will tell you more.
President Irfan Ali, during the commissioning of the $635.5 million Guyana Fire Service and Emergency Headquarters on Homestretch Avenue, highlighted that some of the country's most significant fires have occurred in the commercial districts. He noted that areas bordered by Water Street, Church Street, South Road, and High Street have been particularly vulnerable. The scale and destruction caused by these fires necessitated the decision to position a new headquarters in close proximity to the city's commercial hub.
And considering the need for a larger headquarters, we took the decision to establish a new headquarters. This location was one of the few suitable places which could be found, and we moved ahead with its construction and is completed today.
The President emphasized the importance of the new headquarters as a critical step toward modernizing the Guyana Fire Service. He stressed that the facility is designed to meet the challenges associated with firefighting in Guyana.
Timely response is critical to effective firefighting, as the first few minutes of a fire are often decisive in preventing loss of life and minimizing damage.
The head of state outlined a 10-point plan to strengthen the fire service. The first point focused on improving the regulatory framework for fire prevention, including stricter enforcement of fire safety standards.
Additionally, stiffer penalties will be imposed for non-compliance, sending a clear message that the importance of adhering to fire safety standards is non-negotiable.
Meanwhile, Acting Chief Fire Officer Gregory Wickham described the commissioning of the headquarters as a historic milestone for the Guyana Fire Service.
The continuous backing you have provided allow us to effectively be able to reach those communities that prior to this year would have been unreachable.
The Guyana Fire Service has also received 40 new pickups valued at $910 million and 3 ambulances worth $60.8 million. Additional equipment which will be delivered includes a fireboat, 13 water bowsers, 8 water tenders, and 1 telescopic firefighting vehicle, bringing the total investment to $2.8 billion. The modern facility boasts 8 fire tenders and 6 emergency medical service EMS ambulances. It also features male and female barracks, a kitchen, a laundry area, officers' living quarters, a gym, a day room, offices, and EMT rooms. The new headquarters will house 29 administrative officers, a control room with a tower, a conference room, 4 barracks, 2 kitchen, a generator room, 3 storage rooms, an appliance bay, and a parking lot, ensuring greater efficiency and preparedness for the Guyana Fire Service. Tiana reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Irfan Ali, announced an increase for minimum wage officers of the joint services. Here again is Tiana Cole.
Joint services officers who receive a minimum wage will now benefit from a salary adjustment, taking their salaries to $130,000 monthly. This announcement was made by President Irfan Ali at the commissioning of the Guyana Fire and Emergency Head Office on Homestretch Avenue. The announcement follows a series of financial benefits for members of the joint services, including a 10% retroactive salary increase, a 1-month bonus, and a $100,000 cash grant for citizens. President Ali emphasized that the increase is part of efforts to address inconsistencies in salaries, as some agencies were paying as low as $105,000 for constable-level ranks, while others had already reached $130,000.
I've spoken to the Minister of Finance, and I've asked that he ensure that every rank in the Guyana, in the joint services, that is at the constable level, that every rank be paid a minimum salary of $130,000.
This adjustment aims to establish consistency and fairness across the board. With these measures, the President hopes to attract more individuals to join the fire service and other arms of the joint services, ensuring a robust and dedicated team to protect and serve the nation. President Ali reiterated his commitment to improving the lives of members of the joint services through targeted initiatives.
We have your best interests at heart because we ask for your best too. We ask you to give of your best to our country, and we will give and the country will invest in you.
Tiana reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The Georgetown Mayor and City Council is divided over a proposed salary increase for its 502 employees amid financial instability and lower than expected revenue collection. Carice Gonzalez is on this story.
A potential salary increase for the 502 staff in the employ of the Georgetown Mayor and the City Council for the years 2024 and 2025 has become a contentious issue. The debate among council members heated up largely due to the city's unpredictable revenue flow. Currently, the total wage expenditure for the municipality is about $1.4 billion, with additional costs tied to employee-related expenses surpassing $226 million. City Treasurer Ugochi Orgista proposed a limit to any salary increases to the year 2024.
What if the increase we decided in 2024, we increase the salary from January of 2025 and pay retroactive, and more on 2025, increase until we bring in enough revenue.
If the council were to approve a 10% salary increase, it would result in an extra $8.5 million in monthly expenses. A modest 6.5% increase would still add around $5.56 million monthly. Additionally, council members from the People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC, notably Councillor Stephen Jacobs, have strongly advocated for an increase, arguing that the workers are entitled to better compensation for their contributions.
But I, for one, believe that the administration and all the members, the entire employee section of the main city council, they deserve an increase. The increase should not be placed to the lower end employees. It should be fair and equitable.
On the flip side, Councillor Troy Garraway from a Partnership for National Unity, APNU, voiced concern about the feasibility of such raises given the city's financial instability. While acknowledging the importance of fair wages, Garraway highlighted that the city's finances are not currently in a position to support additional payroll burdens.
I think that each and every office in the council deserves a raise. But we cannot come here and sit and say we're going to give a raise to people that don't know where the money is going to come from. In May of this year, when the council goes cash shop and can't pay you salary, it is those very same officers and the very same councillors that are gone saying them are going to go on the media.
The city's revenue performance in 2024 has been inconsistent, with 92% of expected market fees and 91% of container fees collected. Only half of the targeted revenue from other sources was met. Furthermore, only 58% of the anticipated property taxes were collected. In total, the revenues from market and container fees along with other sources amounted to $803.2 million, while property taxes contributed to $1.297 billion. Despite a revenue goal of $3.2 billion for the year, the city fell short by more than $1.2 billion, complicating discussions regarding potential salary increases. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Carice, for your reporting. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Dalmas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
In today's fast-paced world of modern finance, with its many options and opportunities, you will need good advice and help getting value for your money. Hand-in-Hand Trust is the way to go. From owning your own home or business with our residential and commercial mortgages to drive a new car with a vehicle loan, we'll help you realize your dreams. You can also access investment deposit accounts, share brokerage services, personal trust, thrift and pension plan trusteeship, property management, investment portfolio management, safe deposit boxes, the convenience of our Cambio, Western Union, and Bill Express services. Hand-in-Hand Trust for financial services and more. Helping you get the most out of your financial resources and your life.
Krishna Rock Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice fill pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Rock Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. Thanks for staying with us. On the police blotter, the police have charged one of their own with conspiracy to commit a felony in relation to an abduction case, while the alleged mastermind is finally in police custody. More details in this report.
The long arm of the law has finally caught up with 29-year-old Okima Arak Brummel. After being on the run for more than 3 months, police arrested Brummel Wednesday morning along the Linden Highway. Last October, police had issued a wanted bulletin for Brummel in connection with the abduction of Aurora Gold Mining Incorporated employee Kevin Fitkow. Police have accused Brummel of being among 3 men claiming to be members of the Special Organized Crime Unit and abducted Fitkow from outside the Giftland Mall and took him to his home where he was forced to hand over $9.5 million. According to the police, Brummel of Bel Air Springs was identified from CCTV cameras as one of the men who abducted Fitkow on October 10. According to a statement from the police, the 31-year-old operations supervisor attached to Aurora Gold Mining Incorporated reported that at around 12:30 hours on October 10 last, 3 men held him against his will in the compound of Giftland Mall. The men took him to his home at Providence, East Bank, Demerara, where he was forced to hand over $9.5 million. They did not physically harm him, but escaped. Police investigators were told that the following day, the same men revisited Fitkow in a police car and demanded more money, which he did not have. Meanwhile, Police Lance Corporal Delon Young has been charged with conspiracy to commit a felony in relation to the abduction of Fitkow. He appeared at the Sparendam Magistrates Court before Magistrates Clive Nurse and was placed on $40,000 bail. The matter was adjourned to February 2025. The other rank involved in the abduction is expected to be charged under the Disciplinary Act for the unauthorized use of the Guyana Police Force's vehicle. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
In an update on the Wales Gas to Energy project, Antonio Day tells us that Prime Minister Mark Phillips has assured that the highly anticipated initiative will come into effect by the 3rd quarter of this year.
The 3rd quarter, I'm advised, the 2025, we'll start evacuating power from the gas to energy site.
That was Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips during a recent year-end briefing. The Wales Gas to Energy project, which falls under the purview of the Office of the Prime Minister, is expected to reduce electricity costs by 50%. According to PM Phillips, most of the requisite equipment to support the technical component of this project are already on the ground.
Many of the equipment is already in country and some of them are on the way to Guyana.
Earlier this year, Winston Brassington, head of the GTE's Project Task Force, stated that at the end of 2025, the possible time frame for this undertaking. Brassington claimed that supply chain snags and construction delays are among the many reasons for the timeline postponement. The pipeline, power NGL natural gas liquids, plant and transmission line substations make up the three parts of the GT project. However, former Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson said that he's not optimistic that the Wales Gas LNG project will achieve this deadline.
Very unlikely that they would hit that deadline. If we could recall, the project when it started, when they launched it, was a 2-year project.
In April of last year, Reuters first reported that CH4 Linzica initiated legal proceedings against the government for $90 million in cost overruns for the project. Notably, at the time, it was stated that the first phase of the 300 megawatt power plant was running 6 months behind schedule, and full operation is not expected until the fourth quarter of 2025. Nightly News understands that there are some challenges pertaining to the information provided for the actual design of the project.
What information that they were provided when they were tendered was incorrect, and now that they're on site, they're seeing the flaws of the design. So what that means is that they have to make adjustments to design. They haven't made it before, but that's additional cost.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Our developing story this evening: with almost 5 years in office, the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs is yet to complete the revision process for the Amerindian Act of 2006. The story from Antonio Day.
With almost 5 years in office, there has been no headway regarding the revision of the Amerindian Act of 2006, despite concerns by many indigenous leaders. At several conferences held by the National Two-Shelves Council, indigenous leaders have been calling for a revamp of the Act and for the full recognition of their rights pertaining to ancestral lands. At a year-in-review press briefing held by the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs on Wednesday, this was the update provided by Subject Minister Pauline Sukai.
The Governance and Legal Department was busy addressing the review of the Amerindian Act with respect to setting the pace for national consultations across the country.
When the PPC assumed office in 2020, President Irfan Ali vowed that this will be manifested under his administration. But according to Minister Sukai, this is still a work in progress.
We should have stakeholders and we should have key individuals and villagers who can adequately discuss, negotiate, and provide sound recommendations to any changes in the Amerindian legislation.
Meanwhile, Member of Parliament Vincent Henry has continuously chided the Ali-led regime for continuously dragging its feet on the revision process, since this will chart the course of real development in indigenous communities and villages. The current act, according to the vocal indigenous leader and advocate, is outdated, and with the current economic climate and the Norway Pact being rolled out, completing and enacting key legislation will ensure that the nation's first peoples are not disadvantaged.
How can you sell my product? How can you sell what belongs to me and then come back and tell me you're going to give me 15% of the total money? That's total bypass. I should have been telling you how much you should keep in the national coffers, because today we don't know where the balance of money from that fund is going.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs Community Support Officers program has employed and trained more than 2,000 young people with over $1.4 billion invested. This was announced on Wednesday by the Minister of Amerindian Affairs. Daisy Richards will tell you more.
On Wednesday, the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs held its end-of-year press conference where Minister Pauline Sukai, highlighting that the Community Support Officers CSO program has seen more than 2,000 young people employed and trained. Minister of Amerindian Affairs Pauline said between 10 and 15 youths from respective villages are active participants.
One of the biggest program under our budget too in 2024 remain the CSO project, the CSO program. That program engages almost 2,759 youths between the age of 16 to 35 years old.
Highlighting that the program is an investment in the indigenous capital as they solely cater for training, participants benefit from training in tourism and hospitality, garment construction, small engine repairs, among other skills training.
Craft production. One of our tasks as a ministry is to ensure the culture and also their traditional knowledge and craft making is retained. So we supported the training of 40 young people in craft making.
With Guyana on a journey to food security, the minister expounded that youths have also been trained in shade house management.
The Amerindian communities have also once shade houses, and they've invested in last year 111 shade houses over 2 years. Over 2 years, 111 shade houses, which are being assembled as we speak.
CSOs are also benefiting from a stipend totaling in excess of $1 billion. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
There is more news ahead. Stay with us.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
GECOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors OLE. GECOM has posted the preliminary list of electors PLE in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and, if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you were 18 years or over on December 31, 2024, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. If you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not in the PLE, apply for a transfer if you have changed your address since you were registered, apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person whose information on the PLE is incorrect can apply for such information to be changed or corrected. Any person applying for a change or correction to his or her particulars must provide the relevant original source document, birth certificate and a deed poll for a name change by deed poll, marriage certificate and ID card for a name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who is desirous of reverting to her maiden name from her married name, birth certificate, adoption certificate, naturalization certificate for a correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Wednesday, 15th January 2025. For further information, contact GECOM at 225-027829 or visit our website at www.gecom.org.gy.
Thank you for staying tuned to the HGP Nightly News. The Ministry of Labour, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, is set to launch a new program aimed at equipping secondary school and the University of Guyana students for the workforce. You'll hear more from Caris Gonzalez.
The Ministry of Labour is set to collaborate with the Ministry of Education to launch a new initiative aimed at preparing secondary school and University of Guyana students for the world of work. Minister of Labour Joseph Hamilton announced that the program will specifically target secondary school students in grades 10 and 11, as well as university students. This initiative follows concerns over the lack of job readiness among students, despite strong academic performances.
No fault of theirs. We are not preparing them for employment. Therefore, we have to do a program where we go into the schools with the Ministry of Education.
The program aims to bridge the gap between academic achievement and employment readiness, and the sessions will include training and seminars.
We hope to have some pilot programs in the first instance in different regions and hope to have long-term
engagement. I have seen CVs, the top is at the bottom is at the top. And some of these people, they have very good subjects.
Looking beyond secondary education, the Job Readiness Program will also be extended to students of the University of Guyana. Through collaboration with the Central Recruitment Manpower Agency, the initiative will target students who are insufficiently prepared for the workforce or pursuing degrees in fields that may become irrelevant in the future.
Hundreds of persons are still seeking professions, hoping to be employed. Professions that are really out of style.
He called on media professionals to assist in guiding young people towards demanding careers. The new Job Readiness Program will be rolled out before the end of 2025. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Labor in March 2023 launched a National Job Bank, which is a fully online platform responsible for improving job seekers' access to employment opportunities from the comfort of their homes or anywhere with an internet connection at no cost. It enables employers and potential employees to connect in order to fill open positions based on their competency, skills, and qualifications. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Minister of Education Priya Manikchand on Wednesday turned the sod for the construction of the $1.2 billion Cadenville Secondary School on the east bank of Demerara. This story from Daisy Richards.
On Monday, the Minister of Education Priya Manikchand turned sod for the construction of a $1.2 billion Cadenville Secondary School that is supposed to serve over 1,000 students from Cadenville Grove on the east bank of Demerara. The secondary school is said to be state-of-the-art and will enhance the educational landscape of the region that will ensure students have high-quality learning facilities. The project will begin on January 12, 2025 and is expected to be completed in 11 months, with a 3-month period allotted for inspection to ensure the facility was constructed to standard. There are over 5 contractors employed to construct the school. Among them are Sheriff Construction Inc., NP Contracting and Transportation, DNS Construction, and a few more. The contracts are for various components of the school and were awarded through the public bidding process. Minister Manikchand, in given remarks, reiterated that the incumbent administration is committed to an impartial education system, and the school is vital to providing every child with access to modern facilities, a nurturing learning environment to advance the nation toward achieving universal secondary education. The school will address the challenges of overcrowding and improving access to secondary education in the region. The construction is supposed to be completed in time for the commencement of the 2026 academic year that will create a benchmark for educational infrastructure in Guyana. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Thank you, Daisy. Your regional news is up next.
GECOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you were 18 years or over on December 31, 2024, and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and, if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. You must visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Wednesday, the 22nd of January, 2025. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-02789 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special? HGP TV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGP TV today. HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenient convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.
Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. 2 U.S. citizens have been arrested in Venezuela, part of a group of 7 who President Nicolas Maduro yesterday branded as quote-unquote mercenaries in the latest roundup ahead of the impartial leader's expected inauguration to a new term later this week. Maduro said the detained U.S. citizens were quote-unquote, very high level, but did not provide further details or evidence of the arrest. Just today, we've captured 7 foreign mercenaries, including 2 important mercenaries from the United States, said Maduro, who is set to take office for a 3rd term on Friday, following last July contested election that the opposition says it won in a landslide. Maduro said a group of detainees includes 2 Colombians who he said were captured in unspecified parts of Venezuela, as well as 3 others who came from the war in Ukraine. He did not provide further detail. Neither the U.S. Department of State nor Colombia's Foreign Ministry immediately responded to requests for comment. A Venezuelan rights group have warned of a revolving door of prisoners with fresh detentions coming in even as older prisoners are released, including arrest of foreign nationals. In late 2023, Venezuela's government released dozens of prisoners, including 10 Americans, after months of negotiations between Caracas and Washington, while the U.S. released a close ally of Maduro, Colombian businessman Alex Saab. At least 5,601 people were killed in gang violence in Haiti last year, marking a dramatic increase over 1,000 deaths compared to 2023. The Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Humanitarian Rights reported January 7. A further 2,212 people were injured and 1,494 were kidnapped, highlighting the country's escalating crisis. These figures alone cannot capture the absolute horrors being perpetrated in Haiti, but they show the unremitting violence to which people are being subjected, said Volker Turk, UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. One of the most shocking incidents occurred in early December when a gang massacred at least 207 people in Port-au-Prince. Victims were accused of causing the gang leader's son's death through alleged voodoo practices. The violence has displaced over 700,000 people within Haiti, with half of them being children. Many live in overcrowded makeshift shelters in Port-au-Prince, such as schools, churches, and government buildings, often with little to no access to basic services like food and healthcare. These camps located in gang-controlled areas are also dangerous for humanitarian aid workers. Women and girls face heightened vulnerability in these shelters where sexual violence, including rape, is frequently used as a tactic to control access to humanitarian resources. According to a July 2024 UN report, 90% of the women in these shelters lack income and are often forced into prostitution to secure necessities like food, water, and safety. Wildfires erupted across Los Angeles on Wednesday, forcing thousands to flee as flames consumed homes and left chaos in their wake. The Eaton fire, which ignited Tuesday evening near a nature preserve, spread rapidly, prompting an urgent evacuation of a senior living center. Staff had to wheel dozens of residents, some over 100 years old, down the street to safety as embers fell and the night sky glowed red. Panicked residents abandoned their vehicles on clogged roads, fleeing on foot with pets and belongings. The fire ferocity blocked emergency vehicles, forcing authorities to use a bulldozer to clear a path. Elsewhere, a third wildfire broke out late Tuesday, triggering evacuations in the San Fernando Valley. Meanwhile, utility crews struggle to access higher elevations to refill water tanks. The cause of all three wildfires remain under investigation as authorities grapple with the widespread destruction. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
$635.5 million fire service headquarters commissioned joint services minimum wage to increase to $130,000, says President Ali. PM Phillips Patterson differ on completion timeline for the gas to energy project. And PPPC almost 5 years in office and no progress on revision of the Amerindian Act of 2006. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.